As we watch all this in Fort McHenry, we'll bring into the conversation our friends in New York anchoring our coverage, watching it all tonight. Rachel Maddow, Nicolle Wallace, and Joy Reid. Rachel, I'll let you guys mix it up. We have heard from a nun tonight. We heard from Lou Holtz, the former Notre Dame coach who questioned Joe Biden's religion. We have heard from Mike Pence, quote, "We will have law and order on the streets of this country," and, quote, "You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America." I leave it over to you.
Brian, I have to say this felt like a long night from the Republican National Convention, in part because a lot of the speeches were very long, including Mike Pence's. And while that wouldn't usually matter to me that much, they did go out of their way to showcase the fact that this is an event with an audience. And our reporting suggests that there was not universal testing of everybody who was invited to this event. And to have so many elderly veterans or otherwise elderly people in this audience not sitting socially distanced, the vast majority of them not wearing any masks, for this to go on for a very long time, including a lot of chanting and shouting, I feel concern for what's happening here, especially after what happened at the Tulsa rally and at other Trump events when they have gone out of their way to try to show a visual image of a world and a country that's gotten past the COVID threat when we really haven't. I know politically why they want to do that, but this is potentially a dangerous situation, even in an outdoor setting for all of these elderly veterans. Tonight, it's particularly striking against the backdrop of Mike Pence, who led the coronavirus task force, maybe still does if it still exists, talking about how an untold number of American lives were saved by President Trump's actions. Well, there's over 180,000 Americans dead, and maybe you feel good about that number. Maybe you feel like that's success. But over 180,000 American families have been destroyed by the loss of a loved one. And all they're talking about with COVID is how it's over and how they did great. And by the way, implicitly, there's no reason for anybody here to be distanced or wearing a mask or to have been tested. For this to come on the day that we learned that the new CDC guidelines that just came out that said you don't have to get tested if you've been exposed to somebody who's positive, we learned that those guidelines were not actually devised by the CDC. They were from the Trump administration and imposed on the CDC. It's unnerving. It's unnerving at a health level. I feel like we're watching chronicles of a death foretold here.
Yeah. Well, and you know, it's wild because, I mean, to base what Rachel said, Mike Pence stood up and he said he's speaking as if the coronavirus is over, right? Yeah. And, you know, here's the success. You know, banning people from traveling from China brought us a time to launch the greatest national mobilization since World War II. President Trump marshaled the full resources of the federal government and directed us to forge seamless partnerships with governors across America in both parties. That's the opposite of true. I mean, they're literally, and that's been the difficulty of watching this over the last 3 days. They are creating a separate and new reality that is the complete opposite of reality and just saying it with a straight face in droning fashion into the camera. And it's scary to think that they really do believe that and they probably are tens of millions of people that will just accept that reality. But meanwhile, as Rachel just said, the actual humans standing in front of them or sitting in front of them applauding are in danger of dying from COVID now. And they don't care. It's bizarre. And the one last thing, not to sound like a broken record, as I mentioned last night, I can't get over this misuse of the resources that don't belong to them. Mike Pence here at Fort McHenry, which you can't visit, I can't visit, Nicolle and Rachel can't visit, we can't bring our families there. They only open it for their personal use for a political event. It's just wrong.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.